Have you ever felt that you knew something without knowing how you knew it? Maybe you sensed that someone needed help before they asked, or you perceived an emotion that wasn't yours, but felt as if it came from deep within your own chest. Maybe you dreamed something and then it happened, or you've simply been the person others seek when they're lost, as if you carry an invisible compass that guides others effortlessly. If any of these things have happened to you, let me tell you something that might change how you see your life. Perhaps you're already using a spiritual gift without knowing it. For a long time, I myself thought I was just a sensitive person, that what I felt, what I perceived, were mere coincidences or exaggerations of the imagination. I got used to staying quiet about certain experiences for fear of seeming strange, until I realized I wasn't crazy or confused or overly emotional. I discovered there was something more, a language my soul understood without words, a knowledge that didn't come from the intellect, but from something deeper, my gift. And it wasn't a dramatic revelation, but a gentle awakening that emerged slowly, like a flower blooming in the light of dawn. And I'm convinced it's happening to you too. This video is not a simple online test. It's not superficial entertainment or a way to put a pretty label on a fleeting intuition. Today, I want to guide you on an inner journey, one where every word you hear will be like a mirror reflecting something that has always been there. A subtle talent, a dormant power, a divine capacity that has lived with you even before you knew how to name it. Because your soul hasn't forgotten who you are. It's just waiting for you to remember. Discovering your gift is not about finding something new. It's about remembering what you're already using. And the most magical thing is that many times your gift has been acting through you, in your words, in your silences, in your way of looking, touching, healing, or inspiring. But today, for the first time, you're going to name it. You're going to recognize it. And that recognition can mark the beginning of a new chapter in your life. So, breathe deeply. This isn't a mental test. It's a journey of the soul. Let your intuition take the lead. And if you already feel something inside you beginning to activate, if you've already felt a spark of truth in these words, write in the comments, "Yes, I'm ready." Because when you're ready to discover your gift, the universe is ready to show it to you. Before we begin with the affirmations that will help you discover your gift, I want to invite you to create a sacred space, even just for a few minutes. Find a place where you can be calm, without interruptions. If possible, light a candle or simply close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply. This is not a test like those found in a magazine or a random app. This is an act of inner connection, a conversation between you and your soul. And your soul deserves to be heard with calm and respect. The affirmations you're about to hear aren't logical questions. They're not designed to make you think, but to make you feel. Each one points to a different corner of your being. Some may bring up memories, others may provoke sudden emotion, and some might not resonate with you at all. And that's perfectly fine. This test isn't a competition and doesn't aim to define you rigidly. It's simply a map that begins to form when you recognize the signals already inside you. I want you to listen to each affirmation with an open heart. Don't think too much. Don't try to answer with your mind. Just feel. If something vibrates within you, if something echoes in your chest, if you feel a tingle, a memory, an image, or a sudden certainty, that is your sign. You can do this test mentally noting your responses within. But if you want, you can also take a notebook and pencil and record the affirmations that impact you most. Often, writing them gives them shape and depth. For each affirmation, I'll ask you to observe your internal reaction. Does it feel familiar? Does it sound like truth? Is it something that's happened to you, even if you've never shared it with anyone? If the answer is yes, mark it. You can do so by noting a keyword, drawing a symbol, or simply placing a small asterisk in your notebook. It doesn't matter how you do it. What matters is that you're honest with yourself. Sincerity is the key that opens the portal to your spiritual truth. This test doesn't need external proof. It doesn't need justification. There are no right or wrong answers. All it requires is your presence, your willingness, and your openness. Remember, you're not trying to guess correctly. You're trying to remember. If you can, play some soft background music, something instrumental, maybe with nature sounds or high frequencies. Let that sound accompany you like a whisper from the universe. Imagine you're entering an inner temple where every word you hear is like a lit torch. Now, prepare yourself, because in the next segment, you will begin to discover what has always been with you. Now that you've created a sacred space and are willing to listen to your inner truth, the time has come to begin with the signs. What you're about to hear are simple but deeply revealing affirmations. They are designed to activate the memory of your soul. Some of these signs may seem familiar, even obvious. Others might surprise you. But each one has the potential to reveal a fragment of your gift. Don't rush. Listen to each affirmation as if it were spoken by your higher self. Let it resonate in your body, your heart, your energy. If an affirmation vibrates with you, if it feels like it speaks directly about you, simply recognize it. That recognition is a key, a door beginning to open. First sign, you feel other people's emotions as if they were your own. Maybe you walk into a room and can perceive tension, sadness, or joy before anyone says a word. You don't know how, but you know how they feel. That sensitivity is not weakness. It's an empathetic gift. Your soul is tuned to read vibrations. Second sign, you have dreams that later come true or anticipate events. You might wake up with a strong feeling that this is going to happen, and days later, it does. This kind of perception is not coincidence. It's a form of clairvoyance in a resting state, appearing when your mind is calm and the soul can speak without interference. Third sign, people seek you out for advice, even when you don't offer it. Do you feel like you somehow attract those who need clarity, support, or guidance? Your voice, your presence, your words bring comfort, direction, or peace. That ability to channel what others need to hear is not by chance. It's a guiding gift operating through you, even if you don't realize it. Fourth sign, you are deeply affected by injustice, by the suffering of others, or by places charged with energy. It's as if your sensitivity has no physical limits. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you an open channel, a soul that remembers its mission, to transform, to heal, to hold space. Fifth sign, have you ever felt that something or someone was protecting or guiding you? An invisible presence, a sign at the perfect moment, an unexplainable synchronicity? If this has happened to you, it's possible your soul is connected to higher realms, and your gift includes a connection with guides or spiritual energies. These are just some of the signs that speak of an active, awakened soul in constant communication with subtler dimensions. The more you recognize, the clearer the map to your gift becomes. If any of these signs resonated deeply with you, comment honestly. I already felt this. That simple act of recognition and sharing is part of the awakening process. And if you feel this test is already stirring something inside you, if a part of your being is beginning to remember, subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. And together, in community, we can support, guide, and awaken our true light. There is a spiritual truth that very few understand, but that makes all the difference between someone who is just searching and someone who is beginning to remember. Your gift doesn't wait for you to recognize it in order to manifest. Many spiritual gifts don't appear as spectacular lights or heavenly revelations. They appear as simple gestures, as repeated patterns in your daily life, as ways of being that flow naturally from you without force or labels. The soul doesn't need labels to serve. It only needs presence. Now I want you to open up and observe with humility and depth those aspects of yourself that you've considered normal, but that might actually be pure expressions of a sacred gift. Here, our test continues. First sign, you attract people who are going through difficult times, people who need healing, to talk, or simply to be heard. It's as if, without realizing it, you become an emotional refugee for others. And although it can sometimes drain you, you also know that you have the ability to make others feel understood. That's not just empathy, it's a healing gift in action. Your energy, even in silence, supports those who come close to you. Second sign, you know what to say at key moments, even if you didn't plan your words. There's something in you that activates during important moments. Words that flow without you knowing where they come from, but that reach others like balm, like clarity. That ability to channel wisdom at precise moments is a form of spiritual communication. You are a bridge, a messenger, a guide. Third sign, have you noticed that your mere presence calms others? Maybe it's enough that you're simply there without saying much. Maybe a touch from you, a hug, a hand on the shoulder, brings immediate peace. That sense of relief you bring is not just human tenderness. It's energy in motion, energy that heals, that balances, that soothes. Fourth sign, you receive creative thoughts or ideas spontaneously as if they come from somewhere outside of you. Sudden inspiration, a direct connection with something higher. That intuitive flow isn't invention, it's channeling. And if you recognize it, you can begin to refine it even more. Fifth sign, you have a natural ability to read the energy of a place or sense when something's off, even if everything looks normal. What you're sensing is energy. Your gift includes vibrational perception. And even if you haven't learned to fully read it, you're already using it instinctively. Do you see what's happening? Your gift isn't waiting for you to finish this video to start acting. It's already active. It already lives in you. It already manifests, even if you haven't named it yet. And the most revealing part is this. You're not learning something new. You're realizing what has always been part of you. Take a deep breath. Think about which of these signs surprised you the most. Which one touched you the deepest? Write it in the comments. I want to read your story, because when you share your truth, other souls dare to remember theirs too. You've walked an important path. This hasn't just been a series of affirmations or a simple introspective game. It's been a profound act of spiritual memory. And if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you already knew there is more within you than you believed. Now it's time to clearly see that gift your soul has been expressing, even when you hadn't yet identified it with words. I invite you to open your heart and receive this knowledge with humility and gratitude. If most of the signs that resonated with you have to do with revealing dreams, images that appear in your mind spontaneously, or intuitions that come true, it's likely that your gift is linked to clairvoyance. This is the art of seeing beyond the visible, of accessing subtle realms where time is not linear. You are a spiritual antenna that picks up information others can't see. And even if you've doubted it sometimes, your soul already knows. You see with the eyes of the soul. During the last 2 decades of the previous century, philosophers began to question the assumptions and pretensions of scientific rationalism, particularly those regarding objectivity, neutrality, and the value-free nature of science. This led to a shift in sociological theory and a growing skepticism toward the ability of the natural sciences to provide a complete account of the social world. This critique opened up space for alternative approaches to understanding knowledge and power, notably influenced by thinkers such as Michel Foucault. Foucault's analyses emphasize the ways in which the knowledge and power are intertwined and how discourses shape our perceptions of reality. In this view, knowledge is not a neutral mirror of reality, but is constructed through discursive practices that serve particular interests. One important implication of this perspective is the challenge it poses to the idea of an objective, disinterested standpoint from which to study society. Instead, knowledge is always situated. It comes from particular social positions and is shaped by the contexts in which it is produced. This has led to an emphasis on reflexivity in research, acknowledging the researcher's own position and the power dynamics involved in knowledge production. Furthermore, this approach has influenced the development of new methodologies that prioritize the voices and experiences of marginalized groups. Feminist epistemologies, for instance, argue that the standpoint of women and other historically oppressed groups can offer crucial insights into the workings of power and the nature of knowledge itself. Rather than seeking a universal objective truth, these approaches value partial situated knowledges that reflect the diversity of human experiences. In this sense, the sociology of knowledge has become increasingly concerned with the social processes through which knowledge is constructed and legitimized. This includes examining the institutions that produce knowledge, the interests they serve, and the ways in which certain forms of knowledge are privileged over others. These developments have had a profound impact on the way researchers approach their work. There is now greater attention to the ethical and political implications of research, and a growing commitment to producing knowledge that is not only academically rigorous, but also socially relevant and transformative.